Hi everybody, I'm Randy Ridings, and this is the Quadyak Coast to Coast. In 2013, my father and I built a human-powered amphibious velomobile. In 2018, I started a trip from the West Coast in Oregon, headed towards the East Coast. This playlist is a series of videos that will detail that trip. Each video will cover about a 10-day 200 to 400 mile leg of this trip. I'm glad to have you with me and hope you follow along to the end.
Good morning. It is July 9th, Monday morning, about 7 o'clock in the morning. Got back in to Boise last night, and my host Stan came and picked me up. Stan and Barb just left their house. That way takes me to Kuna. And that way, 5 miles is that gas station where I ended my trip. Do I skip this 5 miles or go 10 miles out of my way to make sure I have an unbroken track? Ah, well, I need a Gatorade anyway. I'm gonna go to the store. I can't skip it. Then I'm on my way. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. It's cool. It is going to be over 100 degrees today. I'm kind of going out through Cunamora Road, and then I'll be taking 30, Glens Ferry, Mountain Home, and then Bliss. Take off on 26, which eventually turns into 20. Takes me past Craters of the Moon and out to Idaho Falls. My idea is through here is to probably camp in towns, because the towns are about the only place with trees. And once I get out into the plateau, I mean, I think it's just going to be turning off the road into, you know, BLM land, National Forest land, camping in the desert, trying to keep the mice out of your stuff. Okay, is that a mirage? Food truck, fruit stand. Okay, not a mirage. There's a little hot dog hamburger stand on the side of the road. Pretty cool. Look at this. I got cold water. Howdy. Got a German sausage with sauerkraut and onions and mustard for lunch, a Pepsi, some Pringles. I bought 3 waters. I'm going to drink one now, and I'll use the other ones to fill everything up. This is my noonday stop. I'm 27 miles in, 5 hours. So I got about another, he says it's about another 20-25 to, and I remember this place, it's called the Stage Stop. Apparently a real stage stop from Boise. All right. Find a parking space in the shade. Okay, so I've been told that it is 108 degrees out here. So I think this is cruising speed, although with a tailwind, I'm doing 12 and a half. So yeah, like 65 miles, actually about 66, in 13 hours, 47 minutes so far. Which means a little less than 5 miles an hour average over the entire day, including all my stops. Ended up doing 68 miles today total. I think that is my second highest one-day total. That's 9:27 at night. I haven't set the tent up yet, but my water's boiling. I'm making some noodles. Good morning, July 10, day 35. I got up this morning, took a shower, got up about 6, a little later, but you know, I didn't get to bed till 11 o'clock. It's fine. I need my rest. You know, if I want to wake up at 4 and get going, then I need to be in a campground at 8:30 and be to bed at 9:30. You know, and then I'll wake up. It's actually only supposed to be like 92 today here. I keep forgetting. I ride 70-mile days. I'll ride right out of one weather pattern and into the next. Rolled 2 hours, 19.4 miles. Trading post in Hammett. I'm gonna take a break here anyway, just a little walk around break. I've been going for 2 hours. I am hoping that they weren't kidding about a dirt road around this thing. and then I can go around it. I will stop and ask the construction guys. Well, I get up here and I see tire tracks and that little dirt road, and it looks like it bypasses the construction zone. Let's see. This is how you get goat heads. This was not the road. I think I'm supposed to be where those trucks are going through, right there. Why do you need a place called Glenn's Ferry? So that's the Snake River, and it's very hard to cross. Well, I'm in Glenn's Ferry. I'm at the stop, which is a little burger joint, ice cream place, and it's wonderful. Just checked my tires, still don't have a flat tire. Kind of can't believe I pulled 10 goat heads out of my tires and didn't get a flat. Asked a few people, everybody kind of said the King Hill way, yeah, and they're like, yep, you got that hill at the beginning, and then it's really nice on top. Yeah, the highway shoulder is terrible through here, so we're gonna do that, the King Hill loop over to Bliss, and then try to really actually get up early tomorrow and head out. So I'm heading out across that desert stuff early in the morning. So puts me in Bliss at 54 miles. Gotta just tell myself it's good training for the Rockies. It's good training for the Rockies. All right, so I made it into Bliss last night about 10 o'clock. Got camped, went to the Oxbow Cafe, which is a fantastic place, like an old 1950s cafe. The last 20 miles last night were rough over that King Hill Road. I'm in Gooding right now. That's 12 miles down the road from Bliss. On my way to Shoshone, which I believe is about another 15 miles. So the clerk at the Family Dollar's name is Shoshone, and she pointed out after I got off the last video that the name of the town is actually Shoshone. Just went by the mental health facility. They were waving me in hard, but I'm not falling for that again. You gotta come catch me. So I am falling asleep riding my bike, and I can tell you why. So I got in at like 9:47 again last night, just like right at dusk. And then I went and camped in the park. Spread my tent out. It's High Sierra, Idaho, and it's green grass, which means the sprinklers came on at 4 o'clock in the morning. I can get up, pull it over to where the brown grass was, because there's no irrigation there. So that's what I did. Except I did that barefoot, and where the brown grass was, there was also goat heads. So at 4 o'clock this morning, back in my tent, I was pulling goat heads out of my feet. So I'm going down this road and I'm falling asleep. And I'm kind of glad for the rumble strip. It has twice woken me up. I left my cell phone sitting on the wall by the dollar store. I will hitch a ride. I mean, it's just like 3 miles back. Okay, back on the move with the phone. Okay, pulling into Shoshone, Idaho. And I know there's a really nice ice cream shop. So I'm gonna head there and then start asking about camping. Making some dinner in Shoshone. I had banana split already. I'm by this park. They were like, oh, if you don't need to hook up, yeah, just take one of the RV spots and there's no charge. I only made 36 today. Hey, leaving Shoshone. Really nice little place. Finally found a scale. Pulled up on it. She came out and said it was averaging 400, 420. Pretty much still totally loaded with food. I've eaten very little of my food. I'm totally loaded with water. So after Richfield, at about mile 38, is a little town called Cary. And that's kind of my goal. Way off in the distance out there on the horizon, with snow on the top of some of them. It's the beginning of the Rockies. So I'm approaching Richfield. The thing I like about these little towns out here is I always have a big silvery water tower. Kind of shows you where the middle of town is. Leaving Richfield a little later than I thought. It's about 3 o'clock. And the reason I'm leaving so late is because the summer library program librarian asked me to give a talk to the kids. That was fun. Met a ex-military guy. He's now a police officer. He kind of followed me around in my career. He was at a lot of places I was just a few years later. Pulling into Cary, Idaho. This is a good jumping off place to go to Craters of the Moon, which will be about 27 miles away, but it's quite a climb. I got into Cary last night. It's Friday the 13th of July. My goal today, I'm only going to do like 27 miles and get to Craters of the Moon. And I think about, okay, it is sunny out. It is warm out here. If I step in the sun, it is warm. And then if I step back into the shade, it is cool. And I put my tent in just the right place that just stayed cool and shady and dark over there, and that's why I slept in. Normally, the sun hits that thing, and it lights the inside of it up. So in Oregon and Washington, at least on the western side, it's logging trucks you gotta watch out for. Once you get east of that mountain range and over here in Idaho, it's the hay trucks. I just had a violent blowout and got sprayed with green slime. These tires are wearing tremendously, and I can't figure out why. So I decided to put the other tire back on. It's got maybe better wear than the other one, but the other thing I did is I might have come with the problem. This is what would be front end alignment on a car. It's rear end alignment on mine, and it looked like they were towing out a little bit. I just saw two other cross-country bikers. They waved. They said hi. I'm so happy. Hey, truck! Well, to my left, I can see a load of snow left up in the mountains. And to my right, that black bar over there is a lava field. I am well and truly out in the lava fields now. It's just amazing. I've made almost 19 miles today. I got about 7 left. And this is the hill I was dreading the whole time. There's actually 2. This is one of them. So a car zigged off the road to stop and take my picture. And I took that opportunity to ask him if they had any water, and he had a big gallon jug. He had, I think, more than one in the car, which is smart out here. I can see it, and it's all downhill. Woohoo! Okay, I made it to the Craters of the Moon campground. Arco's like 20 miles from here. That will probably be like my morning stop, and then I'll push on, and then tomorrow night I'll probably just be in BLM land. I'll be in 26 miles by the time I got into the campground. Okay, Saturday the 14th of July, day 39. Just driving out of Craters of the Moon National Park. Camped last night, met a lot of people, shared food. Well, I made it to Arco. In 2 hours and 15 minutes I made 19 miles. But after Arco, there's not a lot. There's a little town called Butte City. Probably stop there. It's gonna be another hot day, but I've already done 20 miles, you know, before noon. As I'm camping in the desert tonight, there's nothing else out there. So in the cool of the evening, or the afternoon, it starts cooling down, then I'll just put mileage on until essentially the sun's about to go down. That should put me in position to get into Idaho Falls tomorrow without any problem. Arco, Idaho, first city in the world to be lit by atomic power. All right, so this is the Mega Peace Museum, the history of the Idaho National Laboratory and atomic energy. And you come in, and they have the history of some of the submarines. A lot of the submarine reactors were built here. The first submarine reactors were built in Arco, Idaho, out in the desert. So I kind of thought maybe I better do this before I forget some names. So I stopped at Craters of the Moon National Monument last night. That was Ray and Terry running an RV, and they're driving around the country, and so they came down and talked, and then they brought me dinner. I posted a picture of this steak and vegetables and rice plate yesterday on Facebook, and that was from them. It was very nice of them. I'd already eaten dinner, ate a second dinner because I can do that now. This morning I ate a second breakfast. It's crazy how much I'm consuming, and I know I'm still losing weight. And I also met a Professor Harms from LSU, Louisiana State University. He teaches biology. This morning he brought me a bowl of cherries for breakfast. And I introduced him to brown bread and butter and peanut butter. I gave him some of that this morning, and he couldn't believe how good that was. So I wanted to say thank you to you guys for the food and for the company. It was really nice. And to Bertrand from France, who gave me water yesterday. The gentleman Jake Maynard from the telecom that made sure I got an SD card so I could film the rest of the desert stuff. Well, I've had another flat. look on the inside, I can actually see daylight through that spot. I'm going to patch the inside of this tire and hope it holds for a while, and I'm going to do that with this dollar bill. And there's that bill taped in. And alright, I just rolled over 39 miles, and there's the rest there. It is Sunday, July 15th. I didn't have a great night's sleep at the rest area. And part of the reason is because I think I put my tent right at the top of a mouse's hole. And one of them was scurrying around underneath the tent last night. 50 miles west of Idaho Falls, and it's Sunday, so I want to go to a bike shop on Monday, so I don't even need to really push to get to Idaho Falls tonight, and then just get up in the morning and ride in. Would be fine. Oh, and by the way, I did this morning. This was never this bad. That is a problem. It had a little wobble in it before. It now has that. But 50 miles to Idaho Falls, and then that's what's getting fixed. Over there in the distance, so there's just a turn for this. Is EBR1. So what do you do when you got a 50-mile ride across the desert? Well, you take a mile detour to go look at a historic nuclear site. Of course you do. Okay, I'm up here at EBR1, which I've just found out is Experimental Breeder Reactor 1, the world's first nuclear power plant up here. It's out in the middle of nowhere in Idaho. And then out here, those are nuclear engines out there. So we're inside the visitor center, and I love their little bomb shelter waiting area. This is the generator, the turbine. So nuclear power, they heat water, they make steam, they turn a turbine. Coal-fired plants do the same thing. They got a generator here, so this is that is all you need to create electricity, is turn magnets in a field. This is the reactor. You're standing above the reactor core right here. And look what I found inside. So this is a bicycle-powered generator. Comes up and you can charge phones. They need these along like the Katy Trail and the Appalachian Trail. I'm going to walk real quick out and take a look at these engines. The heat transfer reactor was part of the Air Force's efforts to develop a nuclear powered aircraft. So you have a nuclear reactor and you suck air in one end and you superheat it and you blow it out the other side, and it does come out a bit radioactive, but if you wanted to put a large aircraft, almost what would be considered orbit, it wouldn't be in space, it'd be probably on the edge of space, it'd be just a monstrous thing. It was during the nuclear days. Oh, turned this on to say one thing, but just hit a flat. There's a Gorilla tape on this, on the pontoons. I could pull pieces of that off and put it inside that tire. So, it happened again. Tool up a hill, saw a vehicle at the top of the hill, and then when I got close, they all hopped out and they were waving, and they're like fangirls. Yeah, it was pretty funny. They actually had seen me on Facebook. They're like, "Oh, we're geeking out. We're your fans." I'm like, okay, that's a new one. The people that I met were going to Boise. That's that way. But they were waiting for me at the top of a hill that way. They went past me, recognized me, turned around, drove back past me, but they drove to the top of the hill, so they didn't stop me on a hill. So another flat on the same tire, on the new tube, and I once again got sprayed with slime. I am still in the Idaho National Laboratories land, so they don't like you stopping, and definitely no camping here. I'm just gonna try pumping it up and see if it'll hold, and I might not make it half a mile down the road before it does it again. Leaving the INL, I kind of don't know when it's appropriate to kind of cheat. I mean cheat. My RV is 30 miles from here, 28 miles from here. If I could get a ride there, I mean, honestly, I could call an Uber at this point. It's almost sad that we have so many backups now that you don't just have to slog it out. I would imagine if I held a flat bike tire out, somebody would pick me up, take me in, just get a ride into the nearest place to buy a bike tire. Or just get a ride in and go to the RV. I have some options because I'm so close to the RV. Alright, so I'm just rolling over 27 miles for the day. And that's been in 7 hours and 23 minutes. So what that means is I'm not making Idaho Falls tonight. One of the other reasons I'm going slow is I've started to feel the initial effects of heat, exhaustion, or I'm a little sick to my stomach, just a little. And I'm a little dizzy when I get up, but I mean, that's low electrolytes can do that too. And like walking on that road, just a little stumbly, it's not as sure on my feet, you know, just kind of rubber-legged. I'm not slurring my words yet, my vision's good. I believe I'm still thinking relatively straight. That one's a hard one to tell. There's the flat wind. That didn't take long. Yeah, this stuff is really bad on tires. So I got out and I was really kind of stumbling around. I'm feeling it now. That tire, I mean, it actually came off the rim and everything this time. Trying to flag somebody down and get a ride or something. I don't know. One of the other symptoms of heat exhaustion is lethargy. I could so just take a nap right now. This is the Hell's Half Acre Wilderness Study Area. 18 miles still from Idaho Falls. I would have probably pushed ahead. I got about 2 hours of sunlight. If it was just the tire, you know, why not push ahead? If it was just the bottom rack, why not push ahead? But I'm beat. Today really banged my gong. I was eating dinner and a camper pulled in and had a gallon and a half of water that they could spare. They had about 4 of those in the back. And they gave me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And they gave me cherries and grapes. Well, I got a really good night's sleep. It was dark and pretty quiet. I woke up about 6 o'clock, but I'm not going to get up yet because it's raining in the desert. It is Monday, July 16th, day 41. Well, it broke through again. Same place. So I found a little piece of rubber strip from a tire or something. And it was a long band of it, so I've cut that as a barrier between the tube and the tire. So this is the 5th flat in 10 miles. And now when it goes flat, it just totally de-beads itself. It's about to just split in half. I really don't think I can make that tire go any farther. It is now time to flag somebody down or hope somebody stops to give me a ride. Okay, back at the RV. I got like 2 minutes on this card and that's all. Got picked up by a nice couple. They drove me here. I'm going to take the RV. I'm going to go pick up the Quadyak. I'm going to take it to a bike shop. I'm going to get everything fixed. And in fact, probably pick a bike shop that will let me leave it there. And then head out over the mountains, Casper, Wyoming. Do that scouting trip, bus back. And when I get back, I'll get somebody that can give me a ride. I'll just pick up the ride. I know where I finished the ride. Tuesday, July 17th. And I am in front of the Pinedale Aquatic Center, Pinedale, Wyoming. So I'm in the RV. I haven't made it here in the Quadyak. Quadyak is in Idaho Falls. Got to the bike shop. Got the bottom bracket fixed. Brian at Bill's Bike and Run. Great shop.
he sat down on a computer and showed me this other route, and I'd kind of written it off before. Well, this guy said, no, it actually gets better. So I drove this thing, and it's pretty flat. It's, I mean, it's rolling hills. You're going up the Snake River, then up the Hoback River, then up some other creek, but it's not a 9,000 foot pass. You know, 6% grade for 18 miles straight. Well, I actually met some people the other day that said I could park the RV at their place. And that's the second time now I've been hosted by people I just met. I just saw the lead car for the Solar Racers. Yep, I think I got one of the Solar Racer crew coming through here. Nice. He must be in first. So they had 5 vehicles for that one Solar Racer. You know, someday maybe I'll have a crew. Some of my adventures. I can dream. Been talking back and forth with the family in Casper. Jared and his family. They want to cook me a meal tomorrow night. But that's really sweet of them. So that's going to be cool. I'm going to go in the morning, look around a little bit. I'm going to go check the river out. Maybe buy some shoes. Maybe get a haircut. I got to book my ticket. It would have been rough to have driven this thing hard, got right on a bus, 16 hours back. That would have been a little rough. So I'm actually going to have a day of rest, visit with people, you know, be a real human being for one day. Good morning, July 18th. Casper is where I make the major transition from land to water. I've already done 82 miles in the Willamette River, and I did a couple miles in the Columbia, just to camp. But Casper is where I can meet the Platte River, and where I scouted that it got mellow enough to take. Platte is not a big floating river. A lot of that's due to the property laws, which work against what most people want to do in the river. They don't really work against me because I'm just going point A to point B. I'm using it as a highway. All right, I have made the bus at 7 o'clock on July 18th. Casper, Wyoming, heading back to Idaho Falls. It's going to be about a 16-hour trip, mostly at night. I'm going to try to get some sleep. Get in about 11 o'clock tomorrow. So it is Thursday, the 19th of July. All right, real quick, I am back. That is mile marker 296 right there. This is where I loaded up the Quadyak on the RV trailer. All right, riding the last 10 miles into Idaho Falls. Say hi, Jonathan. Hello. That's Jonathan. He can ride with me. First person that's rode with me on this trip. So that's kind of cool. Gave me a lift out to the Quadyak. Gave the Quadyak a lift out to where I ended the trip before. And now we're on our way in, and we're gonna go in and get some ice cream. Join me in the next video where I post the next leg of this trip. You can also follow along on the Quadyak's Facebook page and check out my other Quadyak videos in the other playlist that shows how we built it and other trips I've done with it. I filmed about 100 hours this summer of this trip, and I'm not even done yet. If you want to see all of it, you can visit my Patreon page, or if you just want to support me and the trip and my videos and future projects, please check that out. Put a link below so you can find that and support me. I hope you do. Thanks very much. I'm Randy Ridings, and this is the Quadyak Coast to Coast Trip.